Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today I am finally doing it. This is the follow-up of my first impression of some hyped up fragrances. I will leave linked up here the video where I did the first impression. We are talking about 12 of the most hyped up fragrances. So we have Amouage, Xerjoff, Histoires de Parfum, Creed, Byredo, like all of the biggest niche brands out there. And today I'm going to tell you not only what I think about it, so today I'm not going to actually review them, but also tell you my opinion about them and if they are worth the hype or not. But before doing that, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then definitely consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. So, hyped up niche fragrances. This is actually episode 2, so I actually have a previous episode where I tested some other fragrances, and this is going to be a regular series on my channel. So if you are into these kind of videos, then definitely stay tuned. So as usual, I will go through these fragrances from my least favorite to my most favorite, and I am going to tell you all about it. Let's start with number 12, and on number 12 is Histoires de Parfum 1876. I know, I just can't do this fragrance. It's kind of woody, spicy, a little bit powdery, like violet powdery. It's floral with cinnamon, violet, carnation. And I just can't do this fragrance. It's a little bit too sharp for my liking. Maybe if it was less violet and a little bit more warm, so maybe it has a little bit vanilla, benzoin, something a little bit sweet and warm, I would have liked it, but then it wouldn't be a unique fragrance. It smells old-fashioned. It's one of these fragrances that are not mass-pleasing. It is unisex, has a good longevity and sillage, so it has kind of a moderate longevity and sillage, but remains for like as a skin scent for a very long time. But I just can't like this fragrance. It's too old-fashioned. There's too much violet. So maybe if you like violet, you will love this fragrance. Yeah, I just can't do this fragrance. It's my least favorite from all the fragrances that I tested. Number 11 will be a shock for a lot of people, as this is Blossom Love from Amouage. I know a lot of people love this fragrance, but I just can't. I tested it many times and I just can't see the hype behind it. And I couldn't figure out what is actually bothering me in this fragrance. But then I realized it's the amaretto note. It's too sharp to me. It's a little bit bitter, and I don't like sharp and bitter fragrances. And the amaretto is really predominant here. It has an amazing longevity and sillage, as all Amouage fragrances. It's not a beast mode, but it remains for a long time. You can smell yourself, and every time you catch some wind, you will smell the fragrance. But I have to admit, it has something addictive to it. But still, it's the amaretto note, and to me, again, it's a little bit old-fashioned. I don't know. It reminds me of some old fragrance that I can't put my finger on. So for me, Blossom Love is more for a mature woman and for someone who likes amaretto, because this is like the predominant note. The almondy touch is quite nice, but I just can't handle the bitterness and the sharpness in this fragrance. So that was Blossom Love from Amouage. On number 10, we have again a shocker. Nasomatto Narcotic V or Narcotic Venus. Oh my god. This is a very indolic, animalic, jasmine and tuberose fragrance. Definitely you have to love white florals and the indolic animalic type of them. To me, it smells like an air freshener. And I don't know what is it with Western perfumery doing fragrances that smell like air fresheners that I used to smell in my childhood in Egypt. But yeah, I love jasmine, but not this type, you know. Although it's more tuberose here, I have to say, but you can really smell the jasmine. It's a beast mode. This projects like crazy. It has an amazing longevity. It's an Extrait de Parfum, if I'm not mistaken. So it is expected to behave like that. So I would say this is for someone who really loves strong white florals with an animalic touch, fragrances that are loud. So this is to me 100% a female fragrance. And again, a fragrance that a lot of people love, that is one of their best fragrances, and 10 for lives, etc. To me, this is a big no. So that is Nasomatto Narcotic Venus. On number 9, we have another white floral, and this is Xerjoff Gran Ballo. This is caramel, honeysuckle, gardenia, jasmine, vanilla, and amber. The previous one for me are really off-putting. I can't deal with. This one, I don't mind. It's just not special, you know. It's not special enough to pay that price tag. So this one is compared with Viva la Juicy from Juicy Couture. I've never smelled Viva la Juicy, so I can't tell, but it's just a nice sweet floral. This is definitely suitable for more younger women. Although it doesn't have any fruits, it has moderate to strong longevity and sillage, so definitely that is a plus. But still, I mean, it's not special enough to pay like the Xerjoff price tag. So number 9 was Gran Ballo from Xerjoff. Number 8, we have SANTAL Cardamon from Maison LANCOME, or the private line from LANCOME. You all know how much I absolutely love that line. But this one, it's nice. Again, it's a nice fragrance. As the name suggests, it's all about the cardamom and the sandalwood. You have to love both notes to like this fragrance. And you also have to be okay with leather, because to me, leather is like number 3 or 4 in the notes that are the most predominant. There is also vanilla that you can smell. The rest, to be honest, I don't get really much in this fragrance. To me, it has a weak sillage and moderate longevity, which from the note structure is a little bit strange. I would have expected more, like, better performance, let's say. So if you are a man or a woman that absolutely love cardamom and sandalwood and are okay with leather, then maybe you should check SANTAL Cardamon. To me personally, it's not my favorite from like the line or of sandalwood and cardamom fragrances in general. So that was SANTAL Cardamon from Maison LANCOME. Number 7, we have from Bond, number 9, Scent of Peace. This is just a very pleasant, easygoing, mass-pleasing, don't breach kind of a fragrance. It's a little bit fruity, it's a little bit fresh, very well balanced, very pleasant. It's just a very pleasant fragrance. The predominant note here is black currant, and sometimes I smell cassis, but it's not mentioned in the notes, at least on Fragrantica. So sometimes I get a little bit of sharpness. This is why I thought about cassis. I had a good performance for this kind of fragrances, like fresh, fruity fragrances. Yeah, definitely the black currant is the predominant note here. So if you are into fresh, fruity fragrances, a little bit floral also, because there is Lily of the Valley, and you don't mind the price tag, yeah, this is really nice. For me, if I consider the performance, the representation, and the fragrance itself, I find it overpriced. So it's only ranked low because it's not so special and it doesn't perform very well to justify the price tag. So that was Bond number 9, Scent of Peace. Number 6, we have Creed Aventus for her. And this fragrance I really struggled with, not because it's a difficult fragrance, but because it's nice. It has something that I absolutely love, but at the same time, I am not gravitating towards this fragrance. It's musky, it's fresh, it's woody, it's clean, it's very summer appropriate in my opinion. I would swear there is ambroxan, also not again listed in the notes, but I can really smell ambroxan here. It has a very good performance for these kind of fragrances, so like fresh, clean, musky fragrances. And that makes me again think about ambroxan, that because it is used to amp up the longevity in a lot of fragrances. Although this is Aventus for her, I would say it's totally unisex, men and women can wear it. But again, as the scent of peace, it's not worth the price tag. For what it is, it's not special enough for me to pay that amount of money. So I have to say Creed in general, from what I have smelled, is definitely one of these overpriced niche brands. I know there is a lot of Creed lovers out there, but this is just my personal opinion. If this fragrance was priced much lower, I would have bought it because it's just very nice, unoffensive, fresh, clean fragrance that I would absolutely love to wear in summer. This is, I would say, suitable for people who love fresh, clean fragrances, minimalistic fragrances. Although I wouldn't categorize it exactly as minimalistic, but it's so inoffensive that yeah, I think someone who loves like the molecule fragrances would appreciate that. So that was Creed Aventus for her. On number 5, we have a fragrance that comes with a disclaimer, let's say. It's from Byredo, and this is the last time I will pronounce the name of this fragrance. This is Gypsy Water from Byredo. When I did my first impression video, I got a comment from someone saying that actually this name is very, very offensive. It's like using the N-word. I personally never knew that. I have to admit I am totally ignorant in that matter. So I didn't think about it. So I asked for some explanation, and she kindly provided me with a video, which I will leave linked in the description down below, where another YouTuber, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, goes in detail about why this word is very offensive and it should not be used. I know a lot of people use this word and don't think about it, but it's definitely not okay to use it. If someone tells you the way you are calling me is offensive, whatever the reason, you have to stop. And that's it. So I can't talk for Byredo itself and what was their intention. I just have to mention that this word is not okay and should not be used in a product or even in our daily life. Romani is the appropriate word to use, and I hope that Byredo would change the name of this fragrance because it's definitely not okay to use it. Again, I will leave link down below the video that this lovely subscriber sent me. He goes in detail about like the history and everything about this word. So let's return to the fragrance. Since I did a first impression, I felt like I need to also to follow up on the fragrance. And let me start by saying I'm not going to buy this fragrance, not only because of the name, because that is enough, like an enough reason for me not to buy this fragrance. It's not worth the price tag. Again, it's a nice, fresh, airy, light fragrance. It's a little bit aromatic, has pines and juniper berries, totally unisex, but everything is balanced with the vanilla and the amber. That prevents this fragrance from going on a very aromatic, woody, like masculine kind of a fragrance. I have to say it's a pleasant, nice fragrance, but has a terrible longevity. I mean, really terrible. This fragrance remained on my skin for like maximum half an hour, and then it became a skin scent. So as a fragrance, for me, it's not worth the price tag, and definitely for the name, I am boycotting this fragrance, and I'm still like thinking about Byredo as a brand, I have to say. So that was number 5. Now we are moving toward fragrances that I found a little bit difficult to rank. So the last 4 for me are interchangeable, I would say, when it comes to ranking. Number 4, we have Micallef Ylang in gold. If you saw my first impression video, you will know that I was not really impressed with this fragrance, like at all. And I have to say, I changed my mind, but not much. It still, for me, smells like banana custard. However, on my skin, in the very dry down, it becomes a very beautiful tropical vanilla fragrance. It's mostly about the vanilla here, you know, vanilla, tropical vibe, coconut, a little bit sweet. It has a lot of notes, but mostly, as I said, it's the ylang, coconut, vanilla. It's just too sweet for my liking. And I have to say also, it smells a little bit synthetic to me. If it wasn't like for the bottle and the gold inside, I would have never guessed that this is actually a luxury fragrance. I know, again, this is a cult favorite and a holy grail for a lot of people, but again, this is my nose and my personal opinion. That said, I would actually recommend this fragrance for people who love very sweet fragrances, vanilla, fruity, tropical fragrances. They would definitely love this one. And the bottle and the liquid is just stunning. Really, really stunning. It's just not for me. So if you are into these kind of fragrances, so summer, tropical, warm, sweet fragrances, then this is one of the best, I would say. So on number 4, Ylang Gold from Micallef. In number 3 spot, we have Love Tuberose from Amouage. This is definitely a tuberose lover's dream. It's an indolic tuberose, but it's toned down by the whipped cream here, so it's very creamy. It's sweet, but not like tuberose imperial, so it's not bubblegummy. It's just a creamy, beautiful tuberose fragrance. Like most of tuberose fragrances, it is combined with other white florals, so we have jasmine and gardenia here, but I personally can't smell them. The tuberose is like the main character here. The whipped cream and the vanilla just gives this fragrance this creamy touch, so it's more of a supporting role. So for tuberose lovers, I would definitely recommend Amouage Love Tuberose. As all Amouage fragrances, amazing longevity and sillage, like amazing. Tuberose alone is a very projecting note in fragrances, and this is not an exception. So although I am not really a tuberose lover, I place this fragrance high because of the performance, the smell itself. So I think if I've ever got into tuberose, I think this will be my first pick. I did test it with other tuberose fragrances in my collection, and I'm planning to do a video on tuberose fragrances. So if you are a tuberose lover, then definitely stay tuned. So Love Tuberose from Amouage in number 3. On the second spot, we have a fragrance that totally fell in love and I actually bought, and this is Juliette Has a Gun, not a perfume, Superdose. This fragrance has only one note, and that is citalok, which is actually ambroxan, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very, very, very difficult to describe this fragrance. It's fresh, it's crisp, it's clean, it's a little bit woody, it's a little bit citrusy. It's very, very difficult to describe. I personally love ambroxan and I find it extremely sexy. So it was only natural to fall in love with this fragrance. I mostly use this one for after the shower, so to feel clean and fresh. This is a beast on clothes. Like, this will remain on your clothes until you wash it. And I sometimes, when I overspray it, I actually find a little bit of like the smell after washing my clothes. This is how much this note sticks to clothes. Unfortunately, with this one note fragrances, there is the issue that sometimes you can smell it. So sometimes I can smell this fragrance, sometimes I can't. So this is the only thing that bothers me with it. But as you can see, I don't care because I love it so much, like the smell itself, that I'm okay with smelling it sometimes and sometimes not. I still didn't use it to amp up like the longevity and the performance of other fragrances, so I really can't tell you about that, but I know a lot of people use it to amp up the longevity and CR, especially with fresh fragrances. So on the second spot, Juliette has gone not a perfume, Superdose. First place goes to Xerjoff from the Casamurati line, Bouquet Ideale. This is such a beautiful fragrance, absolutely amazing. And you may wonder why I already bought a fragrance of the perfumes that I put on the second place and not the one I'm putting on the first place. And that because this fragrance smells extremely similar to Kalimat from Arabian Oud, or Arabiya lil-Oud. I actually bought this fragrance as a present for my husband when I was in Dubai maybe 10 years ago or something, so a long time ago. And they smell very, very similar. I would say maybe 80%. I looked on Fragranta and I couldn't find when was this fragrance released. And I'm planning on doing a comparison and full review between these two fragrances. I absolutely love this one. Actually, it comes with a different cap that my husband broke. Comes in a beautiful packaging, like niche presentation. For these similarities, for that reason, I did not buy Bouquet Ideale. But if it wasn't for that, I would have definitely bought it. This is a beautiful woody, ambery, sweet, spicy fragrance. Definitely an oriental fragrance, suitable for a winter time. Totally unisex. You have a lot of cinnamon, there is vanilla, amber, I think labdanum, tonka bean. So a very warm oriental fragrance that is absolutely stunning, with a stunning performance, by the way. Longevity and sillage on this one is just amazing. But again, I will do a dedicated review and comparison between these two, so definitely stay tuned. So my first pick and my favorite from the 12 that I mentioned is Bouquet Ideale from Xerjoff. So that was it. That was my opinion on these 12 hyped up niche fragrances. There will be definitely an episode 3 of this series, so definitely stay tuned. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload a new video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!